In the future, the world is in a mess due to strange weather conditions caused by global warming. Countries teamed up to create a cool solution called Dutch Boy, a system that uses satellites to control weather. It stops a big storm in Shanghai and helps keep the climate stable worldwide. Jake Lawson, the brain behind Dutch Boy, got in trouble for starting it without official approval. Senator Thomas Cross was mad about this, and Jake couldn't convince him otherwise. Instead, Jake argued back, saying Dutch Boy worked fine. Even when Jake's brother Max tried to intervene, it didn't help. Later, Max sadly fired Jake and took over his job. 3 years passed, and soldiers in Afghanistan found a village frozen solid, with people stuck like statues. Meanwhile, on the International Climate Space Station, ICSS, an engineer named Mahmoud secretly checked data about the frozen village. Suddenly, the station's windows blew out, and Mahmoud got sucked into space. President Andrew Palmer learned about these incidents and called a meeting with his cabinet. They thought a satellite glitch caused the frozen village and wanted someone to fix it. Secretary of State Leonard Deckham suggested Jake because he knew Dutch Boy best, but Max didn't think asking Jake would help. Max pulls up to Jake's place in Florida, where he meets Jake's daughter, Hannah. Jake isn't exactly thrilled to see Max, but Max begs his brother to team up and check out what went down in Afghanistan. He knows that a lot of lives might be in danger. Meanwhile, over in Hong Kong, a heat wave hits the city. Cheng Long, who's in charge of Dutch Boy's Hong Kong branch, is out running errands when things get crazy. His eggs start frying on the pavement, then the ground starts shaking, and gas pipes underground start exploding. Cheng dashes across the city as it crumbles around him. He and others end up on a bridge, staring at the wreckage. Jake eventually agrees to heat up to the ICSS, even though it means leaving Hannah behind. She's tearful as she says goodbye, staying with her moom. Once Jake arrives at the ICSS, he meets Commander Ute Fassbender and her crew, Duncan Taylor, Ray Doucette, Annie Adisa, and Al Hernandez. They dig into the Hong Kong satellite situation, but things go haywire. The robot arm holding the satellite malfunctions, nearly wiping them all out before crashing and wrecking the satellite, leaving them with no data to figure things out. In Tokyo, a massive hailstorm strikes, causing hail so large it can wreck a bus. Cheng from Hong Kong contacts Max when he discovers he can't log into their satellite system. Cheng warns Max that if this bizarre weather pattern persists, it could lead to a catastrophic geostorm, affecting the entire world with extreme weather events simultaneously. Chung escapes his office upon learning that mercenaries, led by someone named Rico, are about to raid the place. Max seeks help from Dana, a cybersecurity expert, to figure out why he can't access the satellite. They discover that the entire system has been hacked by an unknown person. Jake watches a surveillance video of an incident that killed Mahmoud and sees a hard drive trapped behind a panel. He attempts to retrieve it, but faces a life-threatening malfunction in his spacesuit. After narrowly surviving, he returns to the station and secretly keeps the drive from the rest of the crew, suspecting sabotage. However, when Jake and Ute try to access the drive's information, they encounter difficulties. Jake contacts Max via video call and shares a story about their father taking them fishing, which Max realizes is an encrypted message since their father never took them fishing. Using their dad's old phone number, Max decrypts the message and learns that Jake believes someone within the White House is responsible. Max tries to meet Cheng, but Rico, an antagonist, shoves Cheng into the path of a car. Cheng, in his dying moments, mentions something called Project Zeus to Max. Max quickly tells Dana about it, explaining that this project is designed to control the weather and cause a geostorm. Meanwhile, Jake and Ute discover log data stored in Doucette's locker, previously held by Mahmoud. They learn that a virus was spread to prevent ICSS employees from logging in. Jake suspects Palma's involvement in the hack and contacts Max. To prevent the impending geostorm, they need to reboot the system using kill codes only accessible to the president due to biometric security measures. Max, seeking help from his girlfriend, Secret Service agent Sarah Wilson, informs her about the situation and the need to get Palma's assistance. Max and Sarah head to the Democratic National Convention in Orlando, where Max discovers a severe thunderstorm about to hit. When he tries to seek help from DECOM, he gets lured into a trap and almost gets shot. It turns out that DECOM is the real mastermind behind everything. Max rushes to warn Sarah, and together they devise a plan. Sarah creates a diversion to distract other Secret Service agents while she grabs Palma. With the storm closing in, they escape in a self-driving cab just as lightning destroys the stadium. Sarah skillfully navigates the city, avoiding Rico and his accomplices. They trick Rico into the storm's path, causing his car to explode. DECOM, ahead on the road, uses a henchman to try and eliminate Max, Sarah, and Palma with an RPG, but they escape the explosion. They manage to disarm the henchman and apprehend DECOM until the police arrive. Before being taken away, DECOM reveals that his plan was to eliminate America's enemies and establish the United States as a global power, with himself as president. The station is taken over by a virus triggering its self-destruct sequence. Chaos erupts as the satellites malfunction, causing catastrophic weather worldwide. Tsunamis in Dubai, scorching heat waves in Moscow, and tornadoes in Mumbai. Lives are lost in horrifying ways, frozen in place, burned alive, or swept away. The countdown to a cataclysmic geostorm ticks below 90 minutes. Jake discovers Duncan's role in spreading the virus. Furious, Jake confronts him, learning Duncan did it for a better offer. A scuffle ensues, and Duncan accidentally shoots the station's windows, sucking him into space. Max and Sarah convince Palma to send the codes to stop the geostorm. However, Jake reveals that these codes won't halt the self-destruct sequence. Jake, resigned to his fate, prepares for the worst. Despite Max's efforts to help, Jake decides to sacrifice himself. The brothers share a heartfelt moment before Jake rushes to the main computer with UT's assistance. They manage to stop the geostorm, bringing the chaotic weather to an end. However, the station collapses, leaving everyone believing Jake perished. Hannah, watching with her mother, breaks down in tears. Later, a nearby shuttle picks up a distress signal from a surviving pod. Hernandez, piloting the shuttle, rescues Jake and UT. They return to Earth, bringing relief to Max and Hannah. 6 months pass, and Jake resumes his job on a new Dutch boy system. Together with Max and Hannah, they attempt fishing, a childhood activity they missed out on. Finding it dull, they laugh it off. In a voiceover, Hannah reflects on the past, expressing hope for a brighter future despite the inability to change what's gone. The movie comes to an end. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. See you in the next video.